I'm going to leave that in for a little bit of humor. It's amazing what happens when you remember to turn on the microphone. So let's try that again. Big night in the NBA. A lot of coaching changes occurring in the NFL. We'll cover some college sports on your daily update for January 31st. Can't believe the month is already over, but it is. My name is Lewis. Let's get right into it. Now, this is going to come out in the middle of the day, so you probably know most of these things, so we won't spend a whole bunch of time on there, except to point out just a couple things that I think will be rather important for as far as following sports. So, in the NFL, the Washington Commanders have hired what was a rival coach to be their new head coach. Dan Quinn, the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, assistant coach for the Seattle Seahawks, two-time loser in the Super Bowl to the New England Patriots. Woohoo! Okay, I'm kidding. Anyway, he is infamous for coaching the Falcons, the infamous 28-3 comeback for the Patriots against the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. But he is actually going to replace Ron Rivera, who got fired by the new owners of the Commanders. So congratulations to him. There were a lot of other offensive and defensive coordinators positions that were changed. I'll go ahead and mention them, but we won't spend a bunch of details on them. Former Ravens linebacker Zachary Orr is now going to be the defensive coordinator for the Ravens. You might remember that their defensive coordinator, if I remember correctly, went on to be hired out in Seattle to be the Seahawks' new coach. Let's see, another offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, Boston College's Jeff Hafley is going to be the new Packers defensive coordinator. And then let's see, there was one other one I had and I don't see where I listed it. So just a bunch of changes going on. I'm not going to spend too much time on the coordinators just because, to be transparent, I don't know all these coordinators, and you'll probably want to look up the information to see if there's anything of value there. By the way, if you like my new color scheme here, this is the padding on my headphones. I will have to end up replacing them because I allowed certain people to use them, and they get broken pretty easily. So maybe we'll invest in ear pods of some sort. All right, in women's NBA, something I did want to mention, Skylar Diggins, the six-time WNBA All-Star, is going on to sign with the Seattle Storm. She's joining her old teammate from college, Jewel Lloyd, on the team there. So it'll be interesting to see how that combination does this summer after the NBA season finishes. In men's college basketball top 25 action, number one UConn, yay. The win at home against the Providence Friars, 74-65. Number two Purdue wins 105-96 in overtime. Number 10 Kentucky is upset in overtime against Florida, 94-91. Number 16 Auburn wins at home, 81-54 against Vanderbilt. Number 18 Baylor wins at UCF, 77-69. Number 19 New Mexico falls at home against Boise State, 86-78, dropping their record to 18-4. And number 24 Alabama wins at Georgia, 85-76. On the women's side, in top 25 action, the UConn Huskies win 81-60 at Villanova. Number two, Kansas State, the big upset victim at Oklahoma, 66-63. Big win for the Sooners as they improved to 14-6. K-State's only their second loss on the season, the first one in conference. Number 10, Indiana wins at Maryland, 87-73. Number 22, Creighton wins at home against Marquette, 76-71. And number 3, Iowa wins big at Northwestern, 110-74. Caitlin Clark moved into second place all time in scoring, so congrats to her. On the ice, just to cover a couple scores really quick, there were none. No, I'm kidding. There weren't. There were scores. This was the last 3 games before the All-Star break. And the Senators win in overtime at Detroit 3-2. The Kings win at Nashville 4-2 against the Predators. And the Ducks in overtime win at home 3-2 against the Sharks. That's all your various sports. Couple things to mention in basketball before we go over yesterday's scores. Anthony Edwards did end up getting fined like we told you he would for his criticism of the referees, being fined $40,000 for all those jabs. It was ironic that occurs, and his team actually won. The 76ers, Joel Embiid, will miss Thursday's action. If you remember earlier in the week, he was playing against Golden State on Tuesday night and injured his left knee, ended up leaving the game early there. One more bit of news for basketball for tonight. The Lakers will be visiting Boston. Lakers are 24-25 currently. The Celtics 37-11, only 2 losses at home, 22-2. It'll be a good game. Tip-offs at 6:30 Central Time, and it is covered on TNT. Now, just to cover the scores from yesterday really quick in some big games. Detroit loses at home, or Detroit loses on the road against Cleveland. I should have started with Cleveland. Cleveland wins at home against Detroit 128-121. Donovan Mitchell dropped 45 points for the Cavaliers. Also provided 8 assists and 6 rebounds. He was obviously first in scoring. Second was Darius Garland, who's returning to the lineup with 19 points. And of note, Jared Allen continuing the double-double, 14 points, 11 rebounds. For Detroit, they were led in scoring by 20 points from Danilo Gallinari, and they got 19 from Cade Cunningham. The Chicago Bulls went on the road against Charlotte, 117-110. Kobe White scored 35 points for the Bulls and had 9 assists. 22 points came from Nikola Vucevic, who also provided 12 rebounds. For Charlotte, they were led in scoring by P.J. Washington, who had 26 points and 8 rebounds. And they also got 21 points from Brandon Miller. The Sacramento Kings lose on the road as the Miami Heat end their 7-game losing streak. Miami wins 115-106. Miami was led in scoring by Jimmy Butler, who provided 31 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Josh Richardson chipped in 24 points. And Bam Adebayo, 16 points, 11 rebounds. For Sacramento, Keegan Murray, the big 33 points in that game. And Domantas Sabonis had 19 points, 17 rebounds, 13 assists. Another triple-double for him, but it was not enough as Miami pulls out the win. Oklahoma City wins at home, 105-100 against the defending champ Nuggets. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 34 points, 7 rebounds. They also got 18 points from Chet Holmgren, who provided 13 rebounds. For Denver, Nikola Jokic, if you're wondering, that's what I thought. He did not play for whatever reason. I think getting the day off there. So they were led in scoring. They had 3 players with 16 points. Aaron Gordon, 16 with 13 rebounds and 7 assists. Jamal Murray had 16 and Reggie Jackson 16. Porter Jr. had 15 with 8 rebounds. Not enough. Oklahoma City takes over in the fourth, wins 105-100. Orlando wins on the road against the Spurs 108-98. For Orlando, they got 25 points from Paolo Banchero with 9 rebounds and 7 assists. Lead scorer for the Spurs, of course, was Devin Vassell, who provided 26 points. Victor Wembanyama, 21 points and 8 rebounds. Jeremy Sokan had 18 points and 12 rebounds, but it wasn't enough to hold off the Orlando Magic. Minnesota with a big win at home against Dallas, 121-87. Minnesota led in scoring by number 29, by Cat, who had 29 points, 9 rebounds. They also got 17 points and 6 rebounds from Rudy Gobert. For the Dallas Mavericks, they got 18 points from Josh Green, 15 points from Jaden Hardy, and 14 from Tim Hardaway, as both Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving missed the game. The New Orleans Pelicans win at Houston 110-99. Pelicans were led in scoring by Jonas Valanciunas, who had 25 points and 14 rebounds. Brandon Ingram chipped in 24 points and 10 rebounds as the Pelicans pull out a great win. Houston was led in scoring by Jalen Green, who had 31 points, and Cam Whitmore 17 for the Rockets. Phoenix with a big win in Brooklyn, 136-120. Kevin Durant's return to Brooklyn. He scored 33 points, had 8 assists and 5 rebounds. Yusef Nurkic with a big game, 28 points, 11 rebounds, and Devin Booker had 22 with 8 assists. Brooklyn was led in scoring by Cam Thomas, who had 25 points, and Mikal Bridges had 21 points. But again, not enough. Phoenix with a big win, winning by 16. And then last, the Milwaukee Bucks and Damian Lillard's first visit back to Portland since his trade. Portland pulls out the win, 119-116. Some missed free throws at the end really condemned Milwaukee to lose this game. Big game from Anthony Simons, who had 24 points. DeAndre Ayton with a double-double, 20 points, 11 rebounds to lead the Portland Trailblazers. For Milwaukee, they got 25 points from Dame Lillard, who had 7 assists and 6 rebounds. 27 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists from Giannis Antetokounmpo, and 21 from Chris Middleton, who also provided 8 assists, but it was not enough. Portland with a big win there. There was one other game. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. The Clippers continuing their hot play, win at Washington 125-109. Clippers were led in scoring by 31 points from Kawhi Leonard, who had 9 rebounds. They also got 25 from James Harden, who had 9 rebounds as well. So the Clippers are still clicking really, really well. Paul George did not play in that game, so that's why you don't hear me mentioning his name at all. For the Wizards, they got 27 points from Kyle Kuzma, got 19 from Bilal Coulibaly, but it was not enough. Again, the Clippers winning by 14. Those are the scores. Just of note that the Bucks are now 0-2 since the hiring of Doc Rivers, so not a good percentage. Of course, I'm a Doc Rivers fan, him having helped the Celtics win their last championship. Hopefully that'll end sometime sooner rather than later. Understand, I don't play favorites when I'm commenting on sports. If our team plays bad, we'll say the team plays bad. In this particular instance, they didn't play. They are playing tonight, so we'll see what happens. You can see my reaction tomorrow, depending on how they play. Anyway, that's your, I guess, mid-afternoon sports highlight, or at least that's what time this will probably post, will be in the mid-afternoon. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Looking forward to seeing some of the sports going on this week. Until then, have yourself a great day.